Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome everybody back to the NWA review show. I am your host, Adam Cousins, and conspicuous again by her absence, my usual NWA queen, Miss Fiona Loughran, is back off holiday from the States. She is jet lagged. She's had some long journeys. So she will be back next week. So she says we will see about that. NWA was back this week. Again, people in the UK can't watch NWA, so we're just going to read some results. Although I did see a promo this week, and I'll get to that very, very shortly. But NWA did kick off this week with Philbilly Silas Mason. Now, for those of you last week who remember, Philbilly had a issue with the house burning down. I understand that the GoFundMe exceeded expectations. You can still do that. You can still, I believe, donate to Philbilly. The address was in the description boxes last week. If it's still open at the time of me putting this video out, I'll put it in the description box again. But anyway, he was talking about his success in the Iron Claw. He was calling himself a sexual stallion and a Hollywood superstar. And he holds up the title and says it almost gets eclipsed. As he ascends to the top, he has surpassed George Washington and Genghis Khan, which then brings out his cousin Bruiser Bob. And he says he owns him a title shot. But Philbilly turns him down. Bruiser Bob then talks some trash. Philbilly says his second favorite movie is Pearl Harbor and the Southern Six Attack. Bob, which brings Devin Dixon out to make the save. That led to a tag match in which Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor with Philbilly actually defeated Bruiser Bob and Devin Dixon. But that wasn't all. Philbilly Silas Mason then leaves the NWA National Heavyweight Championship and says that he's going after the World Heavyweight Champion, the Overman, because he's Overman, EC3, and the usual broadcast team at that point, obviously Joe Garley, Danny Deals, and the co basically confirmed that Philbilly Silas Mason has relinquished the National Heavyweight Championship, and now there'll be a bit more of a information as to what happens with that very, very later on. But for now, Philbilly has his eyes firmly set on EC3. I do not know when that match is going to happen, but it is a very interesting time, and EC3 will have a new target on his back in the name of Philbilly Silas Mason. Cannot wait. I was going to say cannot wait to see that match, but I cannot wait to see when that match is going to be announced and when it will take place. I did mention before the show just now that I did see a promo this week, and it was the promo from Vampiro, and he was talking about how he influences power. He went to war by himself alone, and he kept saying about you come crying, you come knocking, you want help, you want a favor, you want this favor, you want that favor. He says, this time you will pay, but the favor will change everything about you. You have asked a favor. Are you ready to pay? And as he moved to the right, there was Alex Misery, who nodded at that. Very, very interesting with this. I did say, where was Vampiro going? What was he going to do? And we found out that he was talking about Alex Misery. Interesting developments on that behalf. And I'm very much looking forward to reading next week to see what happens there and how Alex Misery's NWA future changes with aligning with Vampiro. Now, they then cut to a video package, and Billy Corgan said that he wants the title situation that Philbilly Silas Mason's National Heavyweight Championship resolved quickly. And he's going to put a qualifying tournament in place. It'll be an 8-man tournament with 4 singles matches that will lead to a 4-way bout at half times. The people involved in that are Paul Burchill, Thomas Latimer, Magic Jake Dumas, Carsten Drake, AJ Kazana, Bulletproof Troop, Brian Idol, and Zion. Brian Idol and Zion. are all announced for the tournament. If I had to pick one there, as much as I would like Magic Jake, I'm going to go with Bulletproof Troop. I think is going to win that one. That's my pick to win that. Tiffany Neves defeated Ruthie J, so that would be an interesting one for Tiffany. She's not long signed for the NWA, so it's good to see her get some wins under the belt. Ruthie J always impresses me, though, and I think it won't be long before she's in title contention, even though she did lose to Tiffany Neves. Very much an impressive start to the NWA reign of Tiffany Neves, not title reign, but her reign in the NWA. There was Birchall alongside Bobby Fulton, discusses the National Heavyweight Championship and vows to run through anyone who's put in front of him. And Fulton was speaking on the behalf of AJ Kazana, who looks like he's got Zion in the first round of that tournament. So that'll be good when that happens. Eric Smalls was next, and he was discussing making a name for himself in the NWA. He is an underdog, but he's glad to have the chance to show what he can do. He was interrupted by Knox and Murdoch. Murdoch threatens to break him, and Small says it was just prison rules as he went after the biggest dog in the yard. Although Murdoch says that he does respect the balls that it took, but tells him not to do it again. This brings Rolando Freeman and says he calls Smalls a wee little man. And Rolando said they made a mistake by messing with him and Slade, and the end will be for them soon, which leads to a challenge by Knox and Murdoch to Rolando and Slade, which they accept. Interesting. Remember last week, Aron Stevens said that the Immortals could have the championship opportunity for Blunt Force Trauma if they dropped the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. They did have the answer to this, and the answer was no, not until they see Blunt Force Trauma in the ring. The plot thickens there. Will we see that? Will they get the answer? Will it be at hard times? What are we going to see here? What's going to happen next week on this? We will wait with bated breath as we wait and see what happens with the tag titles. Should they relinquish the United States Tag Team titles? Then they've got another title to fill. Lots of interesting stuff going on in the NWA at the minute. Now, the main event of this was the National Heavyweight Championship qualifier, and the winner of this would go through to be one fourth of the fatal four-way, and it was Bulletproof Troop, who was with our good buddy Chris Silvio Esquire, and he was going against Brian Idol, who was accompanied by the lovely Natalia Markova. Bulletproof Troop won this match and qualifies to be a part of the one of the four men involved in the National Heavyweight Championships tournament at Hard Times. Interesting. Absolutely interesting week. Lots of different stuff going on in the NWA at this time. Lots of exciting things going on. But again, we cannot see it, Billy, and anyone that cares. We would like to watch this stuff instead of having to review it by reading the results like I just have right now. It doesn't make for a great podcast, people. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me read the results of the NWA. But like I said, next week, the return of Fiona Loughran. Ratings will go through the roof. She'll be back to grace us with our presence and discuss more NWA Powerr. Thank you all for watching. And until next time, everybody, stay safe.